Hello everyone, I am Anirban and I am here to guide you for the upcoming CDS exams and your upcoming CDS attempts. I am here to provide some strategies and some do's and don'ts which I followed during my preparation, and I was able to clear three CDS exams. I failed only once, which I gave without any preparation and which I gave in the fifth semester of my college days. Firstly, let us talk about the syllabus. But one thing you should keep in mind while looking at the syllabus, you should find the weightage portion on the topic wise weightage portion. For example, in mathematics, uh, you should focus on how much questions on average in the last 5 years, how much questions are asking have been asked from the algebra, or for example from trigonometry or arithmetics, or the topics like boats and streams or work. You should be focusing on how much questions are being asked in the last 5 years, and you should have an average idea on the weightage, and that's how you should prioritize the topics and which topics to be covered first and which topics should be covered in the last portion or should be left behind. Because in CDS the general idea is you should not complete all the syllabus. You should focus on completing 60 to 70% of the syllabus, and then you should practice and revise, which is the most important aspect in the preparation for CDS. The suggestion will be to focus on completing the 60 to 70% of the syllabus. So let us now come to one by one from GS. Today I will divide the session on two portions. Firstly, on how to complete the syllabus, and in the second portion I will discuss how to revise and how to practice. First let us come to the syllabus completion part. So first I will talk about GS. So GS consists of various portions, for example, polity, history, economics, geography, current affairs, etc. etc. So while completing the syllabus of GS, you should first have a clear idea about the weightage portion in all topics. For example, how much questions is asked from geography, how much question is asked from history or science, specifically physics, chemistry and biology, how much questions coming from current affairs or economics. For example, if you see the trend in the last 2 to 3 CDS examinations, you will find that the weightage of economics is rising. So that's how you prioritize the topics. So in initially I prioritized the polity, geography, current affairs, economics and science. In my first successful attempt, the economy do not have very significant weightage, so I neglected it, and I also neglected the history, which you should also do neglect history. I will explain it later. Idea here is to focus on completing the syllabus of the important matter. For example, in polity, on an average you will find 15 to 20 questions on polity. In considering the last 3 to 4 CDS exams, you will find for economics 10 to 20 questions from coming from economics, and current affairs it is safe to assume 10 to 15 questions. So you cannot neglect these topics. Geography, the weightage of geography is also significant, and and science is also very important. You cannot have a safe score in GS in CDS without science. So these things should be kept in mind while completing the syllabus. And the reason which I was talking why we should not be bothered about completing the history portion is that the cost to benefit ratio while reading history is very high. If you put too much effort in history, you will find that there are 20 questions in the CDS examination, and only 5, that is best case, 5 to 7 questions you can solve. So that is not suggested to work on history, because in the last attempts the questions are asking from the UPSC is asking from history portion is very unorthodox. So you should not be wasting your time on focusing on history. Yes, if you have a general idea of history, you can invest your minimal time to gain a general idea. You can go through a YouTube or coaching course to have a general idea on history, but it should not be taken as seriously on while you calculate your SAFE score. The SAFE score for CDS is 150 to 160, for IMA 160 or more, and for AFA it is more, near to 200. So you should be focused on how to clear, how to attain that score. For example, if your aim is to IMA, your goal should be 160, and for 160 you should have 50 to 60 marks from GS, 40 to 50 marks from GS, and 70 to 80 marks from English. So that is in total, that is from 110, that is 110 to 130. So that is a perfect scenario. In mock test you will have an idea, and you should attempt in math 60 to 70, or 60 to 70. So that's a safe score. That's how you attempt uh, the score that is safe to go for, to be selected for the, for your aspired academy. So divide that and grant some specific amount of safe score in all the subjects, and have an aim that how much I should score to get selected for the IMA or INA or OTA or AFA. Now, as I have divided the marking scheme, now let us come to the GS portion again on how to complete the syllabus. The syllabus you can complete through purchasing a book and reading, or you can also go through YouTube course. There are various YouTube courses available on, and you can also take a coaching course. Took a coaching course and completed the syllabus GS and mathematics and English. So the important thing is to, while you make your notes on GS, you should keep it as short as possible. I'm not talking about compromising the quality. You should not let go of any fact or any information. You should keep that, but in a minimalist form. You should miniaturize the GS notes, and while you revise for the next time, you should also focus on miniaturizing, and you will find that the note is miniaturized. So more you revise, more you will be miniaturizing the notes. And as I have said earlier, the basic idea in GS is to complete 60 to 70% of the syllabus, not 100%. Do not focus on completing all the syllabus. And one also major idea is to revising and completing the syllabus at the same time. Do not let go of what have read. For example, let us take polity. You have read today the preamble, and tomorrow you are planning to read the fundamental rights. So while you have read the fundamental rights, have and made notes, miniaturized notes on that, also grant some 10 to 15 minutes to revise which you have read previously. For example, here the preamble. So that's how you will not forget the topics you have read earlier, and it will help you to remember the topics, and also it will help you to make the revision time lesser. While you will revise the topics, it will be completed in lesser time. So that's how you complete the syllabus and keep revising on the portion that has been completed. Now coming to English, which is the one of the most important aspect, not only for clearing the CDS exam, it is also crucial in the next phase, that is SSB interview. So for English, the most important skill set to have in CDS examination is the reading ability. You should have a good reading ability and a good reading habit to clear the CDS exam. Without that, you cannot you will not clear the exam. You will not even pass the exam. So the idea is to read every day for 30 to 45 minutes, and of course you should not grant all your time on reading. You should grant 30 to 45 minutes at most to reading. Read from various sources like editorials of newspapers or some journals or some monthly current affair journals. You should read them and acquire knowledge, and you should also keep in mind the sound knowledge you gathered from the topic, reading the topic. After reading for 5 minutes to 10 minutes, you should be able to revise the topics without seeing the paper. That's how you read, and that's how you acquire knowledge, and it will not only help you in solving the questions from reading comprehension or parajumbles. It will also help you to solve questions from spotting errors also. Without having idea about the grammatical rules, you will be able to find the errors in the sentence. So it is one of the most skill to have in clearing the CDS exam. In reading, the general idea will be that whatever thing you are going to read, you should be comfortable and you should understand 60 to 70% of the topic. And with time you should skill up and level up your and challenge yourself. For example, initially I find it difficult to read the editorials of the Hindu, so I started with reading the editorials of the Times of India and the Indian Express. Then when my reading ability improved, I then jumped to the editorials of the Hindu. So not necessarily you should follow that. If you find it comfortable that you can read the editorials of the Hindu, you should go with it. And you should also challenge yourself reading diverse topics on topics which you are not interested. For example, economical topics, for example, historical topics, historical journals, historical articles. uh, these things you should read, and that's how you will be able to develop the habit of reading and the skill to read. And then the aspect of grammatical rules comes. For the grammatical rules, you should be able to complete the syllabus and all the rules regarding tenses, subject verb agreement, or verbs. You should be able to complete that in if you should take a book. And also, if you cannot focus on book reading, you can follow a course on YouTube. There are various free courses which will help you definitely to complete the grammatical knowledge. And you can also refer to a course offered by various online education companies. I took a coaching course. You can also refer to them, and you can also find the enough knowledge in YouTube. But the most important thing while completing the grammar section is to practice questions, because there are hundreds of rules in grammars and you cannot remember all of them. You remember them by practicing and solving questions. You till the time you if you do not have started practicing the questions, you will never be able to master the rules. And even if you have not started reading or going through the rules, you should start practicing the grammatical errors. Find previous year questions or questions from other competitive examinations, or uh, buy some question banks and solve the questions like spotting errors or sentence improvements or parajumbles. You should practice questions, and with practicing you will develop the skill to find the errors. And with that, if you keep reading about the rules of tense, voice, and noun, etc., you will have an excellent ability to find the errors and to solve it. So the more emphasis should be given on the practicing of the questions, and then you should go through the grammatical rules. Now coming to the mathematics portion. The mathematics portion is very different from the question we have practiced from in traditional school, specifically the arithmetic portion. And for that, I think you should refer to YouTube classes. In YouTube, there are excellent teachers who can teach you the short methods to solve arithmetic questions. Although it is suggested that most emphasis should be not given to the arithmetic sections, because arithmetic on a whole may have a large or significant weightage, but the individual topics of arithmetic are huge. So, for example, if on arithmetic have 20 numbers or 30 numbers of weightage, but you will find that there are various topics. For example, simple interest, compound interest, profit and loss, percentage, ratio, mixture and alligation, time, speed, distance, work and time. So these things individually they will have weightage of 1 to 2 or to 3. So you should focus on the most important topics of the arithmetic, and you will be able to find the most important topics by analyzing the trends of previous year questions. That is one topic, that is arithmetic. But the more emphasis would be laid on completing the algebra, the trigonometry, mensuration 2D 3D, and triangles, circles, etc. Because these topics are easier, and you will be able not only to complete these things, and you will be able to find the questions easy, and these things will not make you confused. These things will help you to score more in the mathematics portion, and in the arithmetic you should come last. And one more important thing, that like GS, you should aim for a safe score in mathematics too. The suggestion will be to score 50 to 65. That will be a comfortable score to achieve. So now let us come to the next portion, that is current affairs. So I have not discussed current affairs while GS, because current affairs is a very random topic, and you cannot revise current affairs like polity or geography or other topics, because current affairs is very random and very huge topics. So the suggestion will be that you follow a monthly a YouTube channel which provides monthly current affair notes, and you note that. Also, you can refer to some current affair monthly or weekly journals which are published, and you should make notes, and also make notes as short as possible and miniaturized as possible. Do not take unnecessary information in your notes, and grant 30 to 45 minutes every day in the early morning or before going to bed towards revising the current affairs. You should be able to revise the current affairs in 2 to 3 months. All the current affairs topic will be well revised and well memorized. So you should grant only 30 to 45 minutes every day, and the current affairs should be made to the point, straightforward, because in CDS to the point questions are asked, and more emphasis should be laid on the current affairs from defense. Further, you should also have some unorthodox information, but the suggestion will be to refrain from any unnecessary information while making the notes of current affairs. And the current affairs in CDS, I think the period is 6 months before the month in which the exam is conducted. So 6 months of current affairs you should note, and you should not take any unnecessary information that will make your note hard and revision harder. So revise the newses, and try to challenge yourself, and just by and while revising, try to recall the news by reading the headline. That's how you memorize and challenge yourself. So that's a small tip to cover the current affairs. So gentlemen, as we have completed the aspect of completing the syllabus, now let us come to the revision and practice portion. So firstly, we will focus on practicing the questions of English and mathematics, and then I'll focus on how to revise portions of GS. So in English and mathematics, you should not be bothered for revision, because you should be more focused on practicing the questions, and if you practice enough questions, you do not required to revise. So in mathematics and English, you should divide the sessions, and you should grant some definite time of the day towards session. For example, I used to grant 1.5 hours for mathematics and 45 minutes to 1 hour for English. You should also do similar things based on your comfortable stage on how much time you should grant to mathematics and English, but whole time you should focus on practicing the questions with time boundation. You should not be practicing randomly topic on how much on comfortably. You should challenge yourself, and you should you should bite the bullet on practicing the questions, and you should include that in your daily routine. For example, I have a routine which I still manage, and which helps me not only to prepare for CDS, but for to prepare for other competitive examinations also. I used to divide the topics on a weekly manner or on a daily manner. For example, For example, I have granted 90 minutes for mathematics in every day. So in Monday I will have three topics of 30 minutes. For example, for first 30 minutes I will practice algebra, then 30 minutes I will practice trigonometry, and then in the next 30 minutes I will practice some topics of arithmetic, let's say time and work and time speed distance. So that's how you complete one session. And you should, when you start practicing, you should have a clear aim of how much questions you are going to attempt in the 30 minute. For example, if you are going to start algebra, you should have a clear goal that I will attempt 40 or 30 questions in the next 30 minutes, 30 to 40 questions in the next 30 minutes. So that's how you put pressure on yourself, and that's how you challenge yourself, and that will help you to familiarize with the exam situation. Further, one thing also be suggested that you do not take breaks in between a session, because that will hinder in the development of your mental stamina to attempt the questions in real exam. So do not take breaks in between, and go through the session topic after topic, and at last and start analyzing the questions on how much what is your accuracy, how much score you attended, and how many questions you were able to solve correctly, and how many questions have been wrong, what questions you did not attend and what went wrong. And the suggestion will be, even you are practicing, do not bother with the hard questions. If you find it that you cannot solve it within time, left it and go to the easy questions that you can solve within time, and look for it after in the analysis session. And analyze, you should be focusing on granting towards 10 to 15 minutes, or at maximum at most 20 minutes, on analyzing the errors you have made and the mistakes you have made and the questions you cannot solve. So that's how you do one session of mathematics. So it is roughly about 2 hours of mathematics, and now we should focus on English. Similar things can be done for English. Maximum weightage for English comes from, I guess, reading comprehension. So you should grant 10 minutes in reading comprehension. In 10 minutes you can attend two reading comprehension of 5 minutes each. That's how you challenge yourself. And after that you should solve some spotting errors questions. After that you should focus on parajumbles. I am These sequence are examples. Do not follow this literally. You can make your own schedule based on your own comfortable stage, and the suggestion is to do not repeat the same thing on the next day. For example, if today I have practiced reading comprehension and parajumbles and sentence improvement, the next day I will do parajumbles, the harder parajumbles, that is sentence arrangement, close test, and spotting the errors. And also I'll suggest that for the improvement of vocabulary, after the English session you should revise the vocab register that you have made. I'll talk later how to make the vocab register. You should revise the vocab register for 5 to 10 minutes. So for English, I think I have made it clear that you should have a weekly schedule of which topics you will attend on which day. For example, in Monday you attended three topics of English. For example, reading comprehension, parajumbles, and spotting errors. In Tuesday you will do close test, sentence arrangement, and sentence improvement. And on next day, that is Wednesday, you will repeat Monday, and in Thursday you will repeat Tuesday. Again in Friday you will repeat Monday, and in Saturday you will repeat Tuesday. So that's how you able to revise or practice one topic 3 times in a week. And in Sunday, that is Sunday, you give a mock test. Similarly, for mathematics, you should divide your time and grant different times to different topics, and you should provide comparatively more times to the harder, or the not harder but the important topics, from where the questions are more oftenly asked, and you should minimize the time or give small time to the lesser important topics. You should complete the cycle of repetition in week 2 to 3 times. So that's how you revise and practice mathematics and English. Now coming to the revision of GS. In GS, as I have told earlier, that the topic should be written in a short manner or in a miniaturized manner. That's how you minimize the notes without compromising the quality of the notes. Further, it will also help you to recall the information or the topics easily. You will have a basic idea, and you will have the time required for revision will also be reduced by if you start miniaturizing the notes. And while miniaturizing, you should use techniques like mind maps or notes. These are very helpful for me. I use mind maps to miniaturize my notes, and I will give you the sample notes on the mind maps how to make it. And if you go through the basic notes, the bigger notes, you will be able to make mind maps on yourself, and it will be better for you if you make your mind maps and your notes yourself, because you'll be able to understand them the best. You cannot understand the note made by anybody else. You should make your notes yourself. That is suggested. So that's how you prepare your notes and revise. And more you revise, the revision will get easier. So again, the suggestion will be to revise more and focus on completing 60 to 70% of the syllabus, not 100%. And a revision is the most important thing. And here's a small tip that as I have mentioned, that circular sessions of the cycles of sessions of mathematics and English, and you should also focus on GS. That technique should also be focused on GS. For example, in Monday, you revise polity and geography. You granted 1 to 2 hours, 2 hours for GS every day. For example, in Monday, you read polity for 1 hour and revised polity for 1 hour and economics for 1 hour. Then uh, you do not left it behind. You practice some questions from the topic. Then on Tuesday, and you should grant 10 minutes on practicing questions. Then in Tuesday, you pick up science, for example, biology and physics, biology and physics and geography. In the next day, you should pick up other topics, and on Thursday you should repeat the Monday, and on Friday you should repeat the Tuesday, and Saturday you repeat the Wednesday. That's how you make your schedule, and that's how you prepare and revise your topics on a scheduled manner. Do not prepare in a random manner. Prepare or revise in a scheduled manner. That will be more helpful for you. And finally, after the week on Sundays, you should attend the mock test. You should go to the mock test and watch yourself how much questions you can attend. And again, you should find your weaker areas and stronger areas. And again, in the next week, you should allocate the timings depending upon the mock results of the mock test. So that is the suggestion. Be sincere about the reading and the preparing. And again, the most emphasis should be laid on the revising and practicing, because you are preparing to solve the questions, not preparing to become expert in the topics. So go on, focus on solving the questions. Thank you.